I spent 1 year on this video, 1 year tracking a single question. Can REITs actually outperform the market? I tracked every move in ShareSite, and what I found was not what I expected. Let's go back to where it all started. Today is May 11th, 2025, and I will be opening a portfolio that will include only REITs. And that stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. These are companies that allow you to invest in real estate without having to own the whole property yourself. And what is super important, they are obliged to distribute 90% of their income as dividends. So this portfolio should, in theory, create a lot of passive income. And by the end of the video, we will see, did I make money? Did I lose money? Did I overperform the S&P 500? Or did I just lose all of it? But we want to choose only the best REITs. So to do that, we will actually create 5 different portfolios of different REITs. The first one will include 10 REITs with the highest 4-year average dividend yield. The second one will have REITs with best dividend growth in the last 5 years. The third one will have REITs with the highest total return, also in the last 5 years. Fourth will be created with REITs that have the highest adjusted funds from operations. This metric provides a normalized view of a REIT's recurring income, and basically, higher adjusted funds from operations means more sustainable dividends and also an ability to increase them over time as the company has a larger cash flow base to work with. Okay, so we have all those 4 categories, but if we calculate results from all those metrics and combine them together, we end up with a portfolio of 10 REITs that should, in theory, be the best all-around companies. Great, we are ready. Now all we have to do is sit in a room and do nothing for a year. Welcome back, and the results are complicated because it all depends on what you are optimizing for. If you want to sell everything after 1 year and walk away with the most cash, then one portfolio crashed it. But if you are holding for dividend income and you are never planning to sell, the winner is completely different. So let's open ShareSite to see the results, but also let's look at every portfolio a bit closer to figure out what this experiment has actually taught us so far. Okay, when it comes to the total returns, so not only our dividend income, but also what we would get by selling the shares after a year, in last place, and this is the one that really surprised me, is the total return portfolio at minus 11.8%. The portfolio specifically designed to deliver the best total returns delivered the worst. We will talk about why in a moment. In 4th place, the dividend yield portfolio at plus 2.8%, almost flat, barely in the green. In 3rd place, best overall REITs at 9.2%. In 2nd place, dividend growth at 12.6%. And the winner when it comes to total return is the adjusted funds from operations portfolio at 14.9%. Now, the benchmark VOO was up 32.1% in the same period. So not a single one of our REIT portfolios came close to the S&P 500 on total return. But that is not necessarily the point of investing in REITs. And this is exactly why we need to look at the second scenario. Dividend income is where we concentrate only on dividends received and don't care about the price movements since we are not planning on selling the stocks. And here, everything flips. In the last place, the AFFO portfolio, almost at 3.8%. The total return winner is the biggest loser here. In fourth place, the total return portfolio at 7.9%. In third place, best overall at around 8.2%. In second place, dividend growth at 8.3%, and a clear winner for dividend income is the dividend yield portfolio at 11.5%. Now compare that to VOO. The S&P 500 generated just 1.3% in dividends over the same period. So if you are purely optimizing for income, REITs are doing something the stock market simply cannot match. And here is something worth noting. The best overall portfolio sits right in the middle in both categories. Third in total return, third in dividend income. That is exactly what a balanced strategy is supposed to do. Now let's quickly go through each portfolio and the individual holdings to better understand what caused these results. Total return portfolio. That is the portfolio that surprised me the most, and not in a good way. And the reason is concentration. Half of this portfolio is made up of Ashford Hospitality Trust preferred shares. 5 different classes of basically the same company, all down between 52 and 38%. And they are all here because last year they were all champions of this category. It just shows that a trend in stock price movement is not something we should be relying on. Also, this situation is a perfect illustration of the dangers of weak diversification. And the winners here are Welltower, which is up 45.3%, Iron Mountain up 36%, Tanger up 24%. But those simply could not offset the Ashford damage. Then we have dividend yield portfolio. Here is where it gets really interesting. Healthcare Realty is up 38.4%. Then we have Sachem Capital with a 28.5% total return and an incredible 17.9% income yield. Invesco Mortgage Capital is up 26% with an outstanding 18.2% income. Armor Residential REIT is up 20.4% total and delivering 15.6% income. But there is one stock we need to talk about separately. Office Properties Income Trust. It was delisted, down 78.4% and now essentially worthless in the portfolio. 1 year ago, it had one of the highest yields available, and that in itself should have been a warning sign. When a yield is extremely high, the market is usually pricing in serious risk. And in this case, the market was right. It is a painful but important lesson. An extremely high yield is not always a gift. Sometimes it is the market waving a red flag. Best overall portfolio. A solid middle-of-the-road result. And again, this is the whole point of this strategy. Welltower is the star at 45.3%. Prologis is up 38%. Simon Property Group up 28.4%. Next Point Real Estate and Tanger are both up around 24%. The weak spots are the 2 Ashford preferred shares that also appear in this portfolio, pulling it down. But the other strong stocks carry the weight nicely. Then we have dividend growth portfolio, the best performing hybrid, decent total return and solid dividends. Alpine Income Property Trust stands out with a 34.4% total return and still delivering 7.2% in income. Next Point Real Estate is up 24.7% and delivering 12.8% income yield. CTO Realty is up 22.2%, and the preferred shares here are all generating between 6 and 10% income and holding value well. And finally, adjusted funds from operations portfolio, the total return champion, and you can see why when you look at the holdings. Welltower up 45.3%, Prologis is up 38%, Simon Property Group up 28.4%, Equinix up 26.3%, Digital Realty up 20%, and Realty Income up 14.4%. These are large, high-quality REITs that appreciated nicely this year. But the trade-off is obvious. The dividend income is just 3.7% for the year. If you are living off this income, that is not enough. Now, if we go to ShareSite's multi-period tool, we can see performance broken down quarter by quarter. And what becomes very clear is that Q4 2025 was brutal for total returns. But when we switch the view to payout gain, so just the dividends received, we see something much more encouraging. Every single full quarter, the dividend yield portfolio was generating over 3% of invested capital back in dividends. Very consistent. But that is in the past. Let's take a sneak peek into the future. Here we have the Future Income tool. This projects dividend income for the next 12 months based on current holdings. And the outlook looks solid. The income machine should still be running smoothly. And if you are a dividend investor, then the calendar tool is also incredibly useful. You can see exactly when every dividend payment is scheduled, so there are no surprises about the timing and the amount of money hitting your bank account. The link to try out ShareSite is in the description, and by clicking it, you save 4 months of payments on your annual plan. That is 33% off. So let me know in the comments which portfolio would you choose, and should I continue this experiment for another year? See you in the next one.